On April 20th, 2023, Starship consisting of Booster 7 and Ship 24 took off from Starbase Boca Chica for the first time. This is the story of the creation of the largest and most powerful rocket in the world. 2007. In 2007, Elon Musk made a public statement expressing his aspiration to enable the exploration and colonization of Mars through SpaceX. 2009. At the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Commercial Crew Cargo Symposium in 2009, SpaceX's Max Vozov introduced a project called Raptor. This advanced rocket engine design uses hydrogen and oxygen propellants. It's important to note that, at that time, the term Raptor specifically referred to an upper stage engine concept. 2012. In October 2012, Elon Musk revealed his vision for a revolutionary rocket system that would surpass SpaceX's existing Falcon 9 in capabilities. Known as MCT, or Mars Colonial Transporter, this fully reusable system aimed to enable ambitious space exploration missions. During the same announcement, SpaceX shared their plans to develop a rocket engine with significantly greater power than the Merlin 1 series. Notably, this new engine would not rely on the RP-1 fuel used by the Merlin engines. 2014. In 2014, SpaceX provided additional information about their planned MCT. According to Tom Mueller, the head of engine development at SpaceX, they intended to use 9 Raptor engines on a single spacecraft. The diameter of the spacecraft was projected to be at least 10 meters, 33 feet, and could potentially consist of 3 cores with a minimum of 27 engines. In August 2014, SpaceX made an announcement selecting a location near Brownsville as the site for their new non-governmental launch facility, which is now known as Boca Chica Starbase. A groundbreaking ceremony for the new launch facility was held by SpaceX in September 2014. 2015. In October 2015, soil preparations commenced in Boca Chica. 2016. In early 2016, SpaceX constructed a new engine test stand at their McGregor test site in Central Texas, specifically for Raptor engine testing. By August 2016, the first integrated Raptor rocket engine, manufactured at the SpaceX Hawthorne facility in California, was transported to SpaceX McGregor for development testing. This groundbreaking engine is the first full-flow, staged combustion methalox engine ever to reach a test stand. Also in August 2016, the first tracking antenna was installed at the Boca Chica site. Moving forward to October 2016, Elon Musk announced a name change for the Mars Colonial Transporter System. It was now called the Interplanetary Transport System, ITS, reflecting Musk's vision of a system capable of voyaging beyond Mars. The ITS stack would consist of 2 stages, both powered by Raptor engines. The first stage booster, a reusable component, would be 12 meters in diameter and 77.5 meters high, fueled by 42 engines arranged in an outer and inner ring configuration. The second stage, either an interplanetary spaceship for crewed transport or an ITS tanker for orbital refueling, would be used for long-duration spaceflight. During the same period, Musk mentioned the successful cryogenic fluid testing of the initial tank test article, made from carbon pre-preg without a sealing liner. 2017. In September 2017, Elon Musk announced a new launch vehicle called the BFR, Big Falcon Rocket, acknowledging that the name was temporary. The BFR's objective was to send 2 cargo missions to Mars in 2022, followed by 4 ships in 2024. The latter would include 2 crewed BFR spaceships and 2 cargo-only ships carrying equipment and supplies for a propellant plant. Notably, the redesigned ship featured 6 Raptor engines, 2 sea-level and 4 vacuum, down from the previous design's 9 engines. The BFR was planned to be 106 meters, 348 feet, tall and have a diameter of 9 meters, 30 feet. Constructed with carbon fiber, the upper stage, known as the Big Falcon ship, BFS, featured a small delta wing at the rear end with split flaps for pitch and roll control. This design allowed the ship to land in various atmospheric densities, accommodating different payloads. By late 2017, SpaceX added a third sea-level engine, bringing the total to 7. This addition aimed to enhance Earth-to-Earth payload landings and maintain capability even if one engine failed. 3 versions of the BFS were described: BFS Cargo, BFS Tanker, and BFS Crew. The cargo version served Earth orbit missions, as well as cargo transport to the Moon or Mars. The BFR was also envisioned for Earth-to-Earth transport, enabling passengers and cargo to reach any destination within 90 minutes. 2018. In early 2018, SpaceX commenced the construction of the first carbon composite prototype ship, while also working on establishing a new production facility at the Port of Los Angeles. They aimed to manufacture their launch vehicle and spaceship at this facility on Seaside Drive. Later in 2018, Elon Musk revealed plans for a lunar circumnavigation mission called the Dear Moon Project, scheduled for 2023. During this announcement, he showcased a redesigned BFR concept featuring 3 rear fins and 2 front canard fins, replacing the previous delta wing and split flaps. The updated design incorporated 7 Raptor engines, 2 small actuating canard fins near the nose, and 3 large fins at the base. 2 of the base fins would have actuating capabilities, while all 3 would serve as landing legs. In the same period, the 2 major components were renamed as the Starship, second stage, and Super Heavy, booster stage, reflecting the evolving terminology. Furthermore, construction began on the initial steel test article known as Starship Hopper, Hoppy, or Starhopper at the Boca Chica site in 2018. 2019. On July 25th, a Starhopper test flight reached an altitude of about 20 meters, 66 feet. This was followed by a test on August 27th, which reached 150 meters, 490 feet, and landed approximately 100 meters, 330 feet, from the launch pad. Notably, this marked the first flight use of the Raptor engine. In September 2019, Elon Musk provided further details about the lower stage booster, the upper stage's descent control, the heat shield, orbital refueling capacity, and potential destinations beyond Mars. During this announcement, it was mentioned that the spacecraft would now have 2 aft flaps instead of 3. Subsequently, a design change occurred as the structural material for Starship shifted from carbon composites to stainless steel. Musk highlighted the low cost, ease of manufacture, increased strength at cryogenic temperatures, and high heat resistance as the reasons for this alteration. Later in the same year, the design reverted to 6 Raptor engines, with 3 optimized for sea-level performance and 3 for vacuum operation. Initial Super Heavy test flights were anticipated to use a smaller number of engines, potentially around 20. SpaceX was already in the process of constructing the first full-size prototypes for the Starship system. The Starship Mk1 prototype was being built at the SpaceX facilities in Boca Chica, Texas, while the Mk2 prototype was being constructed in Cocoa, Florida. Unfortunately, in November 2019, the Mk1 prototype was destroyed during a pressure stress test. 2020. In June 2020, SpaceX began constructing a launch pad in Boca Chica for orbit-capable Starship rockets. On the 5th of August 2020, the SN5 prototype successfully performed a high flight, reaching an altitude of 150 meters, 500 feet, and successfully landed on a nearby pad. On the 3rd of September 2020, a similar-looking prototype called Starship SN6 repeated the successful hop. Later that month, the Raptor vacuum engine was fired at the McGregor facility for its full duration. Following several exploded prototypes during ground tests, SpaceX achieved success with the SN4 prototype, which underwent 5 static firing tests before unfortunately exploding during the last one. SN8 became the first fully complete Starship upper stage prototype. It underwent 4 preliminary static fire tests between October and November 2020. On the 9th of December 2020, SN8 took flight, gradually shutting down its 3 engines one by one, and reached an altitude of 12.5 kilometers, 7.8 miles. However, during the landing attempt, the engines encountered low methane header tank pressure, resulting in a hard impact with the landing pad. 2021. On the 2nd of February 2021, Starship SN9 launched on a flight path similar to SN8, reaching an altitude of 10 kilometers, 6.2 miles. However, the prototype crashed upon landing due to an engine ignition issue. A month later, on the 3rd of March, Starship SN10 followed the same flight path as SN9. The vehicle had a hard landing, crushing its landing legs and leaning to one side. A fire was observed at the base, and it exploded less than 10 minutes later, likely due to a propellant tank rupture. On the 30th of March, Starship SN11 flew through thick fog along the same flight path but exploded during descent, possibly due to excess propellant in a Raptor engine's methane turbopump. In March 2021, SpaceX revealed plans for the construction of suborbital and orbital launch pads, landing pads, test stands, and a large propellant tank farm. They also proposed transforming the surrounding Boca Chica village into a company town named Starbase. In early April, the orbital launch pad's fuel storage tanks began installation. Prototypes SN12, SN13, and SN14 were scrapped, and SN15 was chosen as the replacement. SN15 featured improved avionics, structure, and upgraded engines. On the 5th of May 2021, SN15 successfully launched, executed similar maneuvers as previous prototypes, and landed safely, despite experiencing some issues during landing. In July 2021, Super Heavy BN3 conducted its first full-duration static firing, igniting 3 engines. A month later, Ship 20 was stacked atop Booster 4 using cranes, forming the complete launch vehicle for the first time. Ship 20 was also the first craft to have a body-tall heat shield. In October 2021, the catching mechanical arms, known as chopsticks, were installed on the integration tower, and the construction of the first tank farm was completed. 2022. In February 2022, Elon Musk gave a presentation at Starbase discussing the development of Starship Raptor engines and the Florida spaceport. During this event, Ship 20 was stacked on top of Booster 4 using the chopsticks. In July, Booster 7 underwent a test where the liquid oxygen turbopumps on all 33 Raptor engines were spun. Unfortunately, an explosion occurred at the vehicle's base, resulting in the destruction of a pressure pipe and minor damage to the launch pad. By the end of November, Ship 24 had successfully performed 2 and full 6-engine static fires, demonstrating its capabilities. On the other hand, Booster 7 had conducted static fires with various engine configurations, including 1, 3, 7, 14, and 11 engines. At the beginning of 2022, the public spotted the Raptor 2 engine, generating excitement and anticipation for its potential. 2023. On January 2023, Starship underwent a full wet dress rehearsal at Starbase. It was filled with over 4,500 tons, 10 million pounds of propellant, preparing for upcoming tests. Then, on February 9th, 2023, Booster 7 conducted a static fire test with 31 engines. Although the initial plan was to fire all 33 engines, one engine was disabled before firing, and another engine aborted. After a launch attempt cancellation on April 17, 2023, due to a frozen valve, Booster 7 and Ship 24 finally lifted off on April 20th at 14:33 UTC, marking the first orbital flight test. Due to engine issues, with 3 engines disabled before liftoff and several more shutting down during the flight, the vehicle only reached a maximum altitude of 24 miles, 39 kilometers. As the flight progressed, the spacecraft lost hydraulic control of the Raptor engines, resulting in unexpected cartwheeling. Approximately 90 seconds after liftoff, a command was sent to activate the automated flight termination system. However, the system failed to destroy the vehicle, causing it to tumble for another 40 seconds before ultimately exploding.